Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm back here messing around with my transmitter, and I'm kind of at a standstill. I'm kind of not. I've just been working an incredible amount, saving some money. I've been incredibly busy, engaged in a lot of projects, have 2 jobs. I come home, I'm exhausted half the time, but this stuff is my passion and it's great to play with. I don't know why these effects happen, and it works with a battery too. Like, I can run it off a battery too. And literally I just connect. These are just 2 reflectors, energy reflectors. They're just hollow copper pipes. They are not connected to the transmitter in any way physically. It's all wireless. And I ground it, and the light bulb lights up. And I'm afraid to have my computer on when doing this, because my system will mess with my computer when it's halfway across my house. Power consumption is 16.6 watts. I pretty much have unlimited wireless power from my device. The way I work my grounding. I'll show you something interesting real quick before I move on. So I got that bulb lit through 2 separate ground points. Goes to a rectifier, full bridge rectifier, and it also connects to my desk as an antenna. Like, I can disconnect it from my desk and it gets dim, but if I touch it, it gets bright because I act as the antenna. So anyway, I'll hook it back up, full brightness. And this is where it gets weird. So I'll take this little energy detector light. It's literally just special radio diodes, 1N4148. Anything metal I touch within the house, it'll light up on. So, this is where it gets weird. This room seems to be the biggest hotspot for the power, and I don't know why. Like, look at this. I just bring this thing near the ground and it lights up. No degradation in power anywhere. Extremely bright. I bring it near the wall, it'll light up. Like, something strange is going on. I just touch it to this metal, and it lights up. And that's literally just a shelf with my roommate's hobby toys on it. Legos. It's nothing up there. That's not electrically connected to anything. It's just a wooden shelf with metal brackets. And how does this happen? Like, what is occurring for that to happen? And I can even touch it to this other wood shelf. I can even touch it to the DVD player and it will light up. Or at least it was yesterday. See if I can show this. It's kind of dark. I can't really see what I'm doing. Ooh, it lights up a little bit. You know, you're gonna have to take my word for it. It lights up on this too if I get it right. Lights up there, insane. I just get it close to the ground, it'll light up. And the heater is the ground plane. Like, look at that. I just get it close. This is no contact. Not even touching the heater yet. Touch the heater, ba-boom. It loves ground planes. It's lit up when I'm near the wall, too. Certain hotspots behind the wall. Not sure why that is. I can touch it to the metal of this helicopter. This hobby toy helicopter, and it lights up. Look at that. Literally a hobby helicopter. Touch it, it lights up. How weird is that? So if there's experts on this stuff, please inform me of what's going on and how to improve it. Lights up right here. Very brightly if I get it right. Yep. Ba-boom. No degradation in the bulb. And all this occurs when I put the reflectors, or the energy absorbers, which are metal, next to the transmitter and ground it. See the green wire? It's connected to the ground of my outlet, or my plug. No change on input. 16 watts, 16.1. But if I even touch it to the metal of my coffee cup spoon, it glows there too. Brighter. It's like anything metal it works on. Even touch it to this wire. Like, look at that. Even the wire. And that's literally just wire. Lights up here too. Very bright. Very bright. Very dimly here. This isn't a good ground. Very dim. And this wood stove is not connected to the electric grid in any way, or it has its own complete separate grounding. How you doing, buddy? Lights up here too. It lights up anywhere that there's a ground, up to like 1,500 feet now. And there's certain spots that there's a lot of energy. Touch to the oven. Boom. Lights up very bright here too. And that's just a metal net. Light up down here. Look at that. Right on my heater. Lights up on the sink too. Very bright. The power is everywhere. My device can create unlimited lighting as long as you have a separate ground. Consuming 15.9 watts. I notice the longer it's on, the less power it consumes till it reaches like a equilibrium point, and it will settle off at like 15 watts or 15.5. But this is the most interesting thing. I can now run a little motor at this point, at this energy extraction point. And that's just powdered soap I keep down there. My cats kept taking dumps in my room because they're old and senile. And the powdered soap keeps them from coming in my room. So I'll hook up the motor. It's gonna need a little bit of a kick. So if I can just, come on, I'm doing this one-handed. It's a little tricky. Oh, there we go. I'm spinning a motor now with it. It's running a motor. Torque isn't great, but it's still impressive. It's running a motor. And I lost the connection. Hold on. See if I can kickstart it off my foot. There we go. So yeah, there it is. Check that out. That's another breakthrough in itself. How can I wirelessly run a motor when my transmitter's on between two separate ground points? That right there is a breakthrough. Have to kickstart this again. Come on. There it goes. I notice different times of day, different weather events, there'll be more or less power coming out of the ground in this system. So notice this motor's spinning. That little wireless light is still on. Way over there. That's lit between two wires. Literally just antenna wires. Should have properly mounted this on something. Touch it to my finger. Like I can feel wind coming off it. It's maybe less than 5 watts here. I'm not sure. I'll hook this up to an incandescent bulb. And you'll see what it can do. Regular incandescent. So, it's regular incandescent. It'll dimly glow. Well, it's a little more than dim today. That's an incandescent light bulb from my device. How can my device do that? And that's almost full illumination of a 10-watt incandescent. I think what's occurring is my device is using a small amount of energy to conjugate or move a larger amount of energy that's within the earth that can then be extracted through the right extraction methods, being diodes, capacitors, tuned LC circuits, that sort of thing. So, look at that. And I can run this, and there's no degradation on any of the other loads, any wireless loads anywhere. So, I'll hook up this light again. This is my favorite light. It's my favorite light, nice and bright. There's a close look at the motor if you want to see it. Just a little DC motor. These are the diodes I use. You can get them off eBay in bulk. 1N4148. Pretty common. Seems to work the best. Assuming even less power, like I said. The longer it's on, the less power it draws till it reaches that equilibrium point. See if I can film this effect. So I'll disconnect the ground and watch the light. Look at that. See? Ground is disconnected. And I reconnect it and you'll see the light come on. And also sparks to the ground too. Like, look at that. Like, I don't understand fully what's occurring here. I'll shut the device off. Power consumption drops to 0 watts. Everything is off. And I'll show you all the articles I read. All the papers. Oh, I got so many. These are all free, by the way. I don't want to go up too high because I have other information that shouldn't be visible. So, I have all this free PDFs I have. Eric Dollard helped a lot of his work. When you listen to it, I cheated. I used an audio program to listen to it with headphones while I was doing something else. Because I learn more through audio than I do, like, regular reading, so I listen to a lot of his stuff. Like, I'm not I'm not like bullshitting anyone. This is all real stuff based in research. Here's the research papers. These are all free PDFs I got off the internet. I spent like 2-3 days getting them all off the internet slowly. Condensed intro to Tesla transformers. This is my favorite. And again, I'll show. These are all free PDFs, and I have so many. This one's another great one. Radio handbook. So much great info. And the best analogy I heard, I believe, was in this book, the radio handbook. They said a radio transmitter, a monopole one, is similar to a piston slamming into the middle of a pond, creating waves. And you can capture those waves with wireless receivers. And you can capture an almost unlimited amount of power from all those receivers and do whatever you want with it. So you can get free unlimited power from a radio wave transmitter, which is what I have. It has to be a monopole type, which this device is. It's a monopole DC radio transmitter that can transmit power and electricity through the earth. I'm almost done. I'm almost completed the design. I would like to put it on a PCB at one point. It's nearly completed. It's pretty much in the final stage. And a little fussy at times. This is my main one I use for testing. It wants to fall forward. What the there we go. As you can see, these are just metal tubes or copper. Shine the light right on it, show you there's nothing in it. Nothing in it at all, just copper on a block of wood. Copper on blocks of wood. Plug my device back in. And notice nothing is lit because nothing is grounded. I didn't add this and ground it. So, see that? Nothing's lit. Amazing, isn't it? That's probably where most people go wrong. They don't understand proper concepts on how to get this thing to work. And the receivers aren't even lit either. Ooh, nope, that one's dimly lit. Dimly lit, but not as good as it could be. I simply take this guy, put him here, connect it to here, and watch the light. And it just got better. Everything just got better. This one didn't for some reason. I'll add the other one. Actually, notice how when I tune it, it'll get dimmer and brighter, and I can tune it by moving it. Like, look at that. Just some food for thought. I'll add the other one in parallel. The one in parallel. I just gotta tune it by moving them till I get the light the brightest. Whoa. That seems the brightest right there. That's a little receiver that I mushed. Whoops. And yeah, we're back on, transmitting the correct way into the ground. All the effects are back. Let me touch it to a metal coffee can and look at that. Cool, huh? The metal of my chair. How weird is that? That's awesome. Touch it to this battery and it will probably light. Nope, maybe not. Metal of the desk. Yep. I even get it close to my wall, it'll light. Or was it the out? Yeah, look at this. Like, I even get it close to my wall, it lights. That's the ground of my house, this outlet. Damn. Like I said, there's like hot spots where the energy circulates underground. Touches this little pipe. Very dim. And this is what sketches me out. Like, I touch it to the ground on my computer, and look at that. That's what sketches me out. Because I've had this device on in my kitchen, and it made my computer spaz out. So, I'm shutting my computer off. And this is like a $3,000 PC I built. I used to build and sell gaming PCs. And high-end PCs. So yeah, I'm keeping that off. Touch it to this. Boom. So look at this. This is lit. No degradation in that light. No degradation in other loads. You see that? Nothing is dimming or flickering. As long as your receivers have separate grounds, you can have an unlimited amount of power and an unlimited amount of lighting. It's like there's a magnification occurring within the ground. This video is going on too long already. Boom. How weird is that? Just to the metal of the pan. Boom. That's about all I wanted to show. If you want to help fund this technology, I have a GoFundMe. I build and sell these as kits. I was extremely busy this week. I'll probably respond to people's orders within less than a week and start shipping them and building them for people. You can choose what you want to get with it, but you'll get exactly what you see here, except you'll get one of the copper pipes on a stand. And these were built to match the wavelength that this is giving off. It doesn't look it, but I use a lot of online calculators to determine the correct length to receive the frequency. And that's just what the length came out to, because you had to account for that coil of wire there, the extra coil. So, it's all pretty simple stuff. It might not seem simple, but it is when you've been at it for a while and you understand the concepts, and you have all the calculators. But yeah, this device is not a Tesla coil. It is not pissing out sparks everywhere. It has almost like a static charge to it, but not massive sparks. And it can do incredible things. Anything that's shooting out massive sparks is detuning itself, losing its Q factor, and pissing away energy. Like, why would you want that? So, this thing just keeps getting better and better, more improved. And I don't even think this is the perfect design for this thing. The perfect design would probably be a coil that has the same length as its diameter. So it would be similar to this, except minus the ball, and it would have that coil on it. And notice how much brighter that light gets when I vary the tuning. Like, look at that. Just bring my hand near it and look. Because I'm changing the inductance. You can probably harvest several amperes if you get it correctly. And I think the trick with Tesla's tower is when you saw his tower, I think he had that special coil, his extra coil. I think he had just the extra coil that was inside of a giant iron frame or giant steel frame, and it was grounded heavily with iron pipes. And I think the giant iron or steel frame was not physically connected to the transmitter in any way. So what I'm saying is, picture this sitting over the transmitter, but it had lattice network in it, so you could see through it, and maybe more of the energy waves could come through the lattice network. I think that's what was occurring. And I think his transmitter, the extra coil, was wirelessly coupling to the iron frame or metal frame and pumping its energy into the ground in a shockwave fashion that was in voltage per second. That was in volts per second, which was a type of longitudinal energy transmission. So yeah, to recap, I think the metal on Tesla's tower was just grounded and not connected to anything on the transmitter. I think his coil just sat in the middle of it, and it all worked wirelessly. That's the hunch I'm getting. Look at that. And when I do all that, there's no change on the input source at all. My input actually dropped a little. 15.4 watts input. So that's basically all I wanted to show in this video. Thank you to everyone who supports me. And I hope more breakthroughs keep occurring. And yeah, see you soon, guys. Stay tuned, it's getting cool.